birthday at Tiffany. On your birthday.
What do you want?
Can you please get to this Laverne one at like 12:15, so that way you're back here by 1 o'clock. What did Papa tell you about? Oh, I was gonna like my
I'm putting y'all on right now. 0 calories, brown sugar, added to your oatmeal, absolute game changer. Other piece of free game, sugar-free maple syrup. Bro, I literally put this on everything. Watch this. So you got egg whites and beef, throw the maple syrup on it. You got oatmeal, throw the maple syrup on it. It's just that simple. It makes everything taste better. Alright, hello my beautiful sons and daughters, even though 90% of y'all are males. So we got a little breakfast here. Y'all just saw me cook that up. You know, we made some egg whites, ground beef, and a little bit of oatmeal. I eat basically the same thing every single day. It's egg whites and oatmeal, and then I'll throw in something else. But that's not what we're here to that is not what we're here to talk about. For those of y'all who didn't see, I posted a little poll on my Instagram yesterday, just asking you guys for some general questions that you guys wanted to hear a little bit, you know, more information on. And we're gonna use this little video as a general introduction video. Let me take a bite of this food real quick. Hold up. That was good. That's good. All right. Kind of introduce myself a little bit because your boy hasn't made the transition over to YouTube yet. So like I said, gonna go over a little bit of general information as well as cover some of these questions that you guys had for me. It's a lot of general info. There's nothing really too specific in here because I will use dedicated videos to go kind of more in depth on specific topics that I want to talk about. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. So for those of y'all who don't know, my name is Joseph Faraj. I am 24 years old. I'm currently a classic physique NPC competitor going for my pro card hopefully within this year. I did my first show, my first 2 shows last year. I did the Summer Shredding Classic both in June and October, and then I did my first NPC show in October as well. Those were all great experiences, kind of got my feet wet with the game of bodybuilding and, you know, really showed myself that I do have a passion for this, and this is something that I want to pursue at a high level. So I'm, you know, obviously taking the necessary steps to get there. Like I said, the goal is to get my pro card in classic physique by the end of this year. I haven't exactly decided which shows that I want to do. Me and my coach are still kind of working some things out, but we're looking for a show at the tail end of this year, probably October, November-ish. You know, if everything lines up well, we can go ahead and secure our pro card this year, and, you know, next year do a couple of pro shows and see if we can fuck around and qualify for, you know, maybe something cute. Maybe give me a couple years and we'll be on that Olympia stage. That's you know, obviously would be the dream. So I started my fitness journey generally when I was in high school. I'm 24 years old now. Like I said, I started working out kind of when I was 15, but really when I was 16. Funny little story. Actually, the first time that I stepped foot in a gym, actually I didn't even step foot in the gym. So my mom got a membership to this Crunch that's down the street from where I live. I was, like I said, about 15 years old, and I was extremely overweight. I struggled with like childhood obesity and just being generally overweight and out of shape for most of my childhood. So, you know, her being a good parent, wanting me to kind of fix that, invited me to come to the gym with her and kind of, you know, push me to come. So I was like, yep, I'm down. I'll go. As soon as we got in the parking lot of the gym, I don't know what happened, but I was just scared as fuck to actually go inside. I did not want to walk in. I was like, absolutely not. This is not happening. Truly, my mom had like an hour-long training session or whatever with her personal trainer, and I stayed in the car the whole time. I literally sat there, went on my phone, and did not get out of the car, did not go in the gym because I refused. crazy to look at now, because now I spend like 3-4 hours in the gym on my own merit. But yeah, it took me about probably a month after that little incident to actually, you know, work up the own courage and, you know, desire to go into the gym myself. So we eventually got in there, and I really didn't know what I was doing. But I went to that same one. They had like a line, right? It's just a line of like standard machines, and it was like a shoulder press, a flat chest press, an incline chest press, and then they had all their free weights. So I would literally go in maybe like 2-3 times a week at most, and I would just do that line of equipment until I couldn't fucking do it anymore. So I was just hitting like chest and arms. I would do some bicep curls. You know, that's basically it. But I just basically did those until I kind of got a little bit more incentivized to kind of do a little bit more research into it, and just kind of, you know, learn a little bit more about how to structure a workout program and all those different types of things. And I kind of always had that like little bit of inherent desire to be fucking jacked, I guess. Because I remember when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old, I don't know if you guys remember this fool. There was this dude on YouTube called Six Pack Shortcuts, and this man used to have some of the most bullshit ass workouts. He's like one of the OG fitness scammers in the fitness industry, like that. And I remember doing those little things in my bathroom at like 10, 11, 12 years old. So I always had that little bit of a desire to kind of improve my body and just, you know, look like the superheroes and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's my general introduction into fitness. Kind of tailing back to where we were for a second. I recently lost, you know, about 70 pounds, and most of that weight gain was from COVID. So pre-COVID, you know, February, March 2020, I was in the best shape of my life. I was more focused on powerlifting than bodybuilding, but I was trying to do the social media stuff then as well. Whereas I had like a 350 something bench, 525 deadlift, and like a 445 squat or something like that. These are all natural, of course. I was like 21 at the time. Pretty decent numbers. Obviously there's kids that are way fucking stronger out here now. About a year and a half later of staying in the house and only really doing you know, the workouts that I had available, I went from about 200 to 250 over the course of that year and a half or so. And then I was just like, yeah, this can't keep going. Like, I hate the way that I look. I hate my body. I don't feel good. I'm not athletic anymore. I used to play a lot of basketball. That's one thing about me. Growing up, I was like big basketball guy. I swore I was gonna make it to the NBA. Like, I was, before any of this, before any bodybuilding, fitness, anything, I was a hooper. Back to the question, what did you do to cut? Personally, I hired coaches. That definitely helped, you know, take a lot of the thought and guesswork out of actually doing my meal plan and programming. But when it comes down to it, it's all going to be about a calorie deficit, making sure you're eating, you know, low calorie dense food so you can stay full and stay satiated, having a lot of protein in so you can make sure you're maintaining muscle mass and putting some on if possible. You know, it's the basics. I didn't do anything special. I don't have any secret pills or secret sauce or any of that good stuff. A lot of fucking cardio. What was the most cardio that you were doing at peak cut? This kind of gives you guys some context that this shit isn't easy. I think for about 10 weeks, nah, that's cap. Maybe 7 weeks. For about 7 weeks, I was doing 2 hours of cardio a day on the stairs. So I would either go in and do an hour in the morning and then do all the shit that I needed to do for work, and then come back and hit my lift, do another hour of cardio, or if I couldn't get up in the morning, I would do my lift at night and I would do 2 hours of cardio after my lift. It is definitely a grind to lose weight, let me tell you, especially if you're looking to get like shredded. Actually, our most was 2 hours and 20 minutes of cardio a day. My body couldn't handle it. I literally couldn't function doing 2 hours and 20 minutes of cardio a day. Current height and weight, I'm about 5'9"-ish, give or take some. You know, I like to say closer to 5'10". If I got the kicks on, I'm 5'10". But, you know, it is what it is. About 5'9"-ish, and I think I'm sitting around 230, 235. Big boy right now. Definitely big boy right now. Is powerlifting / power building better for losing weight than normal weightlifting and bodybuilding? No, I don't really think. Obviously, I think that you should incorporate some type of weight training into your regimen, just because it's obviously going to help you maintain muscle mass, and we don't want to be losing muscle mass if we're on a diet. Things like that, and obviously your body will inherently burn more calories the more muscle mass that you have on. But at the end of the day, like I said, the only thing you really need to be worried about is making sure that you're in a calorie deficit. That's going to be what's going to determine whether or not you lose weight. Worth it doing a dirty bulk? So kind of going back to this, there's a little bit of confusion on if I got up to that big because I was dirty bulking or if it was a fucking accident. It was a little bit of both. I mean, I was definitely trying to push my strength numbers. During COVID, I was blessed enough to have I had a barbell at home as well as like a little bench setup, and I could do squats as well. So I could do squat, bench, and deadlift. And I had like 450 pounds or so that I could use. So I was doing a lot of really high rep work on deads, high rep work on squats, and hitting my bench. So I was trying to get stronger, and I'm definitely not someone who's been afraid to dirty bulk in the past. I think that there is some merit to dirty bulking because you can obviously put on more size while dirty bulking than you can lean bulking, but you're obviously gonna kind of ruin your body composition. And me personally, this is something that I've touched on in the past. I have loose skin now from getting really fat. I don't know if it was from this like last time getting that big, because that definitely was the biggest that I was in my life. But like I said, I suffered from like childhood obesity and all that stuff, so my skin was like pretty stretched out for years of my life. I do think it's personally getting a little bit better. I'm trying basically everything I can that's not like surgical intervention to make it better. I'm taking my collagen. Some of the super subs that we're taking are supposed to help with that. So I'm looking into this little laser place that said they can maybe help me out. We're doing everything that we can, but I personally think it's getting a little bit better. I do think that significantly impacts my placing in bodybuilding, so we're trying to work that out. I think that there's you run the risk of some things like that, like if you push the dirty bulk too fucking far for too long, you can definitely run into like some loose skin issues. You can kind of blow out your waistline, and obviously specifically for classic physique, making sure you're maintaining a streamlined waist and holding your lines well, having your structure hold, all of those things are super important. So really, I think it depends on what your goals are. If you're just trying to get stronger and like powerlifting is your primary focus, then bro, dirty bulk by all means. Like you'll get way stronger and you'll get way bigger. But if bodybuilding is your concern and you're looking to put on as much lean mass as possible and hold shape and things like that, I don't really know if it's the best route. What do you do for work, and how does it fit in with your workouts and stuff? So now I'm actually blessed enough to do online coaching and the social media stuff full time. We're helping a lot of people try to reach their goals. Love what I do. Makes me feel good that I can actually have like a tangible effect on people's lives and kind of help them get to their goals. Like I have people that I've been working with for like almost 8 months now, and they've fucking lost like 60 pounds and they look fantastic. And it really it makes me feel good that I'm able to help them. But before this, I was in a sales job, and when I did like both of my preps, I was working that job. I was working a full-time job. I was working at a company called ADP. It's a payroll company. Yeah, I was doing like small business sales there. I'm not a corporate guy. That's just me personally. It was good money, really good money, but I'm just personally not a corporate type of guy. So I didn't want to be in that field for the rest of my life. And obviously, I was lucky enough to kind of gain a little bit of traction here on social media and be able to kind of pursue this with more intent. So fucking hoping that this shit works out, man, because this is definitely my passion. This is what I would like to continue doing for this foreseeable future. Motivation to get into bodybuilding actually kind of put the ball in motion was I just fell in love with posing. I was on TikTok like a whole lot during COVID, and I remember seeing dudes, one dude specifically, and I don't know if you're gonna fucking watch this, but we're mutuals, which he was the first. Let me just rant about this dude for a second, because this dude is low-key the reason that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this shit. Goody Fitness, Michael Goodwin. I don't know how many of y'all know him. He's more clouded than me, so obviously there's a good chance that if you're watching me, you've seen some of his stuff. And if you haven't seen some of his stuff, go watch his stuff, because that dude, big inspiration for me personally. This dude's videos used to come up on my For You page all the time during COVID, like all the time. And he was doing a lot of posing videos, and I thought it was beautiful, bro. I was like, yeah, this is legitimately art. And I wanted to do that myself. And to be honest, I posted a lot of posing videos when I was like first getting into TikTok and a lot of that stuff, but I'd watch them and I'd get mad, bro. I'd be like, damn, bro, like I don't look like that. Like my body isn't built to do these poses, bro. Like I'm all about body positivity and hitting all the poses that you want to hit, and I really do think that hitting them when you're at a higher body fat percentage will help translate into when you get shredded, of course. But just like I'm not happy with how these look, so I knew that I wanted to like pursue posing and get better at that, but I also knew that I needed to be shredded to really, you know, allow them to reach their full potential. And I'd always watched a lot of bodybuilding content in the past, like when I was generally into fitness. And I gotta say, the first person that introduced me to bodybuilding as a concept and like prepping was Christian Guzman, because when I was first getting into fitness, he was the first fitness influencer that I watched. And I watched his summer shredding series, and I always used to do my little mini cuts, you know, when he was doing his summer shredding, so I could watch his videos during my cardio and all that stuff. And that was my first introduction. So I kind of decided that was something that I wanted to do for myself. And then once I dialed everything in, everything started really clicking, and we were able to take it to the next level. How did you learn to pose? This kind of transitions well after what we were just talking about. How did you learn to pose? Did you have a posing coach, YouTube, etc.? So I did invest in a posing coach for a little bit just right before my show, but that was mainly to help me with my mandatories, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing with my mandatories. I do think a posing coach really does help. They can obviously, you know, they have more insight into posing, and especially when you're looking at doing like your routines and stuff, just getting the transitions in and kind of seeing which poses would work best for your body definitely can give you a better level of insight. But me personally, bro, I posed every single day. And I remember me personally, like if I would see a creator use the same clips over and over and over again, I'm like, dog, we get it, like you looked good here. But it's just not really representative of their journey or what they're looking like on a day-to-day basis. So when I would film for my TikTok clips, I would get new clips every single day, which meant that I was posing every single day, and I would pose for like 20-30 minutes every single day. And if you go scroll down on my TikTok and you go to like my old videos, my posing was dog shit. My posing was really, really, really bad, but I just kept working at it every single day, literally every single day without fail. I would pose for 20-30 minutes. I would watch the footage back, and that was one big thing. I would watch the footage before I left. I would watch and see, do these look good? And if they didn't, I would tell myself, what do I need to adjust? That was the biggest thing that helped me get my Arnold 3/4 get that right, because I would watch it and I'd be like, all right, well, why doesn't this look like Arnold? Like, why doesn't this look like C-Bone? Why doesn't this look like the other bodybuilders that are hitting this? And I'll basically critique my own posing form and just keep doing it until it looked better. And then you kind of get those mental cues in. All right, throw the hips forward. All right, put your arm up high. You know, different things like that. You kind of get those inherent mental cues, and then it just gets a lot easier from there. And then it's just about piecing them together. So I definitely think you can be self-taught in posing. Have you ever dealt with body dysmorphia? Damn near every single day, my man. Body dysmorphia kind of being used for clout, I guess you could say, or as like a joke a lot in the fitness industry nowadays. But yeah, body image, I guess that's a better way to put it. Body image issues is something that I personally deal with every single day, especially, you know, being a social media creator and being a content creator myself. I'm always comparing myself to other creators, whether or not people want to admit it. Like, you're always comparing yourself to other creators, whether it's how many likes they're getting, how many views they're getting, what their engagement looks like, or what their physique looks like. Like, I'm always comparing myself to my peers, because, you know, I'm a competitive person. Like, I want to be the best at everything that I'm doing, and that includes social media, and that includes bodybuilding. So it definitely gets really tough on the mental when you're viewing yourself, you know, comparing yourself every single day, especially because everyone that's on social media is a genetic freak. Some of these dudes, and you know, they're 19 years old, and I think they look better than me, bro. So I'm just like, yeah, it gets hard, definitely. But at the end of the day, like, that's why it's really important to remember that bodybuilding is a competition with yourself. yourself. So long as you're able to improve your own body composition and get to a new level for yourself, and if you're doing bodybuilding shows, if you're able to improve that package that you bring on a show-to-show basis, that's what's important. And it's not whether or not you look the best in the world. Obviously, you know, everyone wants to look the best in the world, but like, you have to be able to keep your mind in a position where you're giving yourself credit for the small wins, because if you don't, then that shit's just gonna eat you alive, bro. Please talk about hunger management while on a cut. All right, this will be the last one, and this is kind of like a message. You gotta suck it up, bro. You gotta suck it up. You gotta embrace the suck in all aspects of life, whether it's your cardio or your training or your diet or your work or your school or your family life. You have to embrace the parts that suck. Bro, I was starving. I was starving when I was dieting. Damn, I'm gonna go to bed hungry every night. And that was just something that I had to accept. I wanted to lose weight. I had to be in a deficit. I had given my body way too much fuel and food in the months prior, and now we had to compensate for that to get back to a body composition that I enjoyed. So there's no, like, obviously I can tell you, you know, eat more voluminous foods, eat salads, eat potatoes for your carb sources instead of rice, you know, have a lot of lean meats, you know, different things like that. Obviously those are things that can help you kind of with hunger management, but at the end of the day, man, if you're someone who likes eating like myself, you're gonna have to embrace the suck. So you have to know that it's gonna suck, but you're doing it to reach your goals. Give up a moment of comfort now for comfort in the future, or for happiness and, you know, fulfillment in the future, right? We covered a couple of different topics. I feel like you guys got to know me a little bit better here. I'm gonna put this together and edit it, and then, like I said, we will be doing more in-depth videos on specific topics. So if there's anything specifically that you guys want to see, drop it in the comments below. Leave a like, you know, share it with your mom and share it with your neighbor and your friend and all that good stuff. You know, we're trying to run up this YouTube this year. I'm not gonna let this shit slide. I know this is something that I need to do, so we're gonna be running this up. Drop any videos that you guys want to see below, and then, like I said, the next video will probably be me going a little bit more in depth on how to kind of structure out your diet and a little bit more training knowledge. So if that's something that you want to see, be sure to drop a sub. Make sure you're putting on the little bell notification and all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Big kid.